Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about why I do not like girl best friends, okay? So I'm gonna start with my first high school girl best friend. So me and her met in 7th grade, and we were cool. Like, we weren't exactly friends, but I became friends with her towards the end of the year. Now, kickstart 8th grade. We had one class together, and that was like our access class in 8th grade. So we would talk and we'd hang out, we'd sit together at lunch sometimes, you know, and we had mutuals, so that was also cool. Now, jumpstart to freshman year, this girl was a complete Barbie. Like, I literally loved it because, like, I was whitewashed. I am whitewashed, but I was very whitewashed freshman year, and you know, she didn't care. Obviously, you know, white people don't care when you're whitewashed, but everybody else cares. Now, I was very close to her this year, and just like I said, when I said she's Barbie, like, she would wear pink all the time, skirts, like, she was literally Barbie. Her hair was blonde, like, literally Barbie, okay? So this is when another Katie comes in. This is Katie S. So my best friend was Katie B. Katie S comes around. Now, her and Katie B kick it off real fast because they're both white, blonde-ish. Katie was kind of brunette, but blonde-ish. You know, they lived by each other. They had a lot in common. So I want to say, like, in October, Katie S became like our friend. Like, it was a trio almost, but there's always a duo and a trio, okay? Now, you guys, this girl, okay? So after a football game, we went to Katie B's house, okay? And it was almost like a 3-man, but I didn't get with the dude that I was like with. And basically, this dude who was friends with Katie S's ex was texting me, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm at Katie B's house." "Why?" He's like, "Is Katie S there?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "Is her man's there?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" And he's like, "What are they doing?" I'm like, "Why?" I got set up, okay? He's like, "What are they doing?" I'm like, "They're in a room upstairs," you know. I wasn't thinking anything, you guys. I literally got set up, okay? So it was the weekend, right? Because it was a football game, Friday night. It was a weekend. I come back Monday, and Katie B's not talking to me. I'm like, weird. Why is Katie B not talking to me? Basically, this dude who's friends with Katie S's ex screenshot a message of me saying that they were, and I'm like, I literally didn't even say that. I'm like, okay. So she literally just didn't talk to me. None of them did. So I'm like, okay, bet that. I'm like, bro, you couldn't even like ask or nothing. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So then November, I didn't have a girl best friend. December, I didn't have a girl best friend. January, I started being friends with this girl named Lily. Now, Lily had been in my science class freshman year. So I already had a class with her, you know, I knew her. She seemed cool. Little did I know, okay? So I was friends with her. I was very close with her. We would make TikToks, all of that stuff, okay? And then I started dating this dude, okay? I started dating this dude in March of freshman year, and this girl, Lily, was single at the time. Now, I don't know what it was, but this girl did not like my man's at all. Like, she would always tell me to break up with him. Like, she did not like him at all, okay? Now, at this time, something happened, and I guess you could say I cheated, but she ended up telling him, okay? She told him, and he just, like, he was done with me, and I was heartbroken, okay? I didn't know she told him at this time. I was heartbroken, okay? I was like, oh my, like, take me back, bae. Okay. So I got, I guess, broken up with at the end of April. So it was like a literal month relationship, okay? And this girl starts dating this dude, okay? And every time I would hang out with her, he would be there. And I didn't have an issue with him. I just had an issue with the fact that I couldn't hang out with her without him being there. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So all the summer, the whole summer of freshman year, I hung out with her every single day almost. I'd spend the night at her house, she'd spend the night at my house. Now I love her mom, like her mom, but this girl has an issue. Okay, this girl has an issue. She's just weird. Okay, so basically one of my boy best friends, Isaac, he used to mess with her, and that ended really weird. And after that, I wasn't really friends with him while I was friends with her because it was kind of weird. But then, so fast forward August, sophomore year, okay? So I'm still friends with her. She actually transferred schools. And, you know, my boy best friends do not mess with her at all. And I think it was her birthday, actually. So this is after I found out that she told my ex. So I'm confronting her. I'm like, girl, why would you tell my ex that I was drunk and I kissed this dude? And she's like, I didn't. And I'm like, so then why is he telling me this? She's like, well, I didn't. Okay, now this girl was cheating on her mans, okay, and everybody knew about it. His friends, literally everybody at my school knew that she was playing him, and they would show him screenshots and all of that. Okay, so everybody would show him screenshots of her cheating, and he'd be like, no, those aren't real, like those are fake, da 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 da. And I'm like, be so for real, like actually be so for real. Now at this time, you know, I just found out she betrayed me, and I'm like, I do not want anything to do with this girl. So I obviously wasn't going to stoop that low and be like, yo, like, you know, homegirl's cheating on you. But my boy best friends, on the other hand, they do not care. Okay, so just like I said, I think it was her birthday, and I posted her on her birthday, and she didn't say thank you. I'm like, we're literally best friends. I post you on her birthday and you don't say thank you. Weird. Okay, so it was lunchtime again on her birthday, and I was with my two boy best friends and this girl who graduated last year, and they were on my phone and they like looked at her story. When I tell you they don't like her, I think that's an understatement. So again, they had my phone, my account, okay, and they were looking at her stories, and they just started going off on her. They started calling her a fat B word, you know, WHORE, you know, all that type of stuff. Now, looking back at it, were those statements true? Yes, 100%. Now, should I have let them use my phone to say all that? No. But honestly, I knew that we weren't gonna be friends for that long, so I was just like, you know what, you guys, like, y'all just do whatever, honestly, and I'm not gonna be friends with this girl anymore, because she was draining, you guys. And I mean, honestly, she was just a fake person. She'd get me into a lot of stuff. I've lost a lot of friendships because of her. And, you know, a lot of my friends who I've been friends with since middle school stopped being friends with me because I was friends with her. So I was like, common denominator, Lily. Okay, let's get rid of her. So, you guys, my friends actually, like, they were going OD. And this was all on Snapchat. So she was like, they were sending voice messages calling her fat and all that stuff, which she is. And it's like, it's okay, like, if you're fat, dude, but like, whatever. So she was like getting pressed, and she's like, Rosa, like, you better like keep your friends in check. I'm like, girl, like, they got my phone. That is y'all's business. That is y'all's unfinished beef, whatever. So she ends up unadding me on Snap while it was still her birthday, so I still had those posts up. So I'm like, she's gonna unadd me. Now, looking back at it, that was very petty. But again, I just lost so many friendships, and it was just so I clocked that, and I deleted all of her birthday posts. And she's like, why would you let them talk to me like that? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, look at the way that my life has gone since I've been friends with you. Literally lost almost all of my friends, okay? So we're just arguing over messages at this point. And it's so dumb, okay? It's so dumb, okay? Now, we just end up stop being friends, and before we stop being friends, we end up going to Hoko together, and we took a picture, and I still had it on my feed. So when me and her stopped being friends, her new best friend from her school is in my DMs being like, take this picture down, like, you don't deserve to have pictures of my friend up, da 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 da. And I'm like, excuse me, like, I know you're not talking to me on my cellular device like this. Excuse me, you're in my DMs. Keep talking to yourself. So she was blowing up my phone, sending like hundreds of messages. Well, not hundreds, but like 10 messages, right? So I click on it and I'm like, what is this girl talking about? And I just go up and up, or I just go down and down and down. And it's just Lily feeding this girl lies. I'm like, okay. And one thing I've always noticed is that people only lie when they talk shit about me. Like, they have to lie to talk shit about me. Like, all these facts aren't true. And I'll be so honest, like, if something's true, I'll be like, damn, like, got me there. But she literally made up so much shit. So I'm like, get out of my phone. So I start replying. This bitch blocks me. I'm like, all right, pussy bitch. Turns out they're not friends anymore. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to another girl. Now, this girl's name is Addie Adams. We're being very federal because I do not care. Okay, so I met Addie freshman year. Okay, she's in a grade older than me. Now, after freshman year, she went online, and you know, I knew her because she was friends with my only female friend, my only true female friend, okay? Michelle. I love you, Michelle. Thank you for never switching up, babies. Now, Addie, she's an interesting one. Now, we had, just like I said, mutuals, aka Michelle, and you know, Michelle, she's a loving. So if she's friends with Michelle, I'm like, okay. You know, if she's really close with Michelle, I'm like, okay, so this girl's cute. Wait, was I wrong? Now, basically, like, I don't even remember exactly when I became friends with her. I think it was the summer. Well, close, because I was cool with her, but I wasn't really, like, you know, close. I became close with her, I think, the summer before sophomore year. Now, this summer, y'all, I was going crazy because I was friends with this girl. Oh, God, that's another story for another day. And we were wildin'. I can't even lie. We were wildin'. Like, crazy. Crazy. Okay? And basically, we would just do dumb shit. And I would tell Addie about it. And, you know, me and her just developed a relationship that, like, whenever I needed something, I could call her, you know, vice versa. So I would honestly just tell her about this crazy ass side quest I'd go on. Now, up until this time, I didn't know she was my number one op, okay? And by number one op, I don't mean like, you know, she's going crazy. She's just spilling all my deets, okay? So I end up starting like a situationship with this dude. I'm gonna call him D for legal reasons because I don't want to get shot. She is friends with D's best friend, okay? At this time, D and his ex-best friend lived at the same crib. Now, many people knew about this, okay? So, keep this in mind. D and his best friend, Z, they're gonna get repeated in the story, okay? So I start a situationship with D and I tell her about it. She's like, oh, is it this D? And I'm like, yeah, how do you know him? He used to go to my school. He's older. So let me tell you, me and D did some wild stuff. And again, I got really comfortable with this girl. So I'll just tell her about all the side quests I'm going, including the ones that included D. Okay, so you know, it's a normal day, probably like 2 months after this situationship started. I get a call from D, okay? Hello. It's like, why the fuck you telling people what we be doing? I'm like, what are you talking about? I haven't told anyone. It's like, so then why does blank and blank know? I'm like, I don't know. I don't even talk to them. He's like, well, you need to figure it out. And I'm like, I'm like, the only person I told was Addie. So, what's going on, babes? Why are you looking my information, babes? And so I'm calling her, pressing her about it. And I'm like, why the fuck are you telling people what I'm telling you? She's like, I'm not. And then I'm like, so then how do other people know? So y'all, Addie has this best friend, Gianna. She had, anyway, so I guess anytime I would tell Addie any information, the phone would be on speaker with Gianna in the room. I was not aware of this. Now, her and Gianna were really close. Really close, okay? Really close. Like, sisters type shit. So I'm just like, okay, like, I get that's your friend, bitch, but I'm not friends with her. So why are you being a fed right now and giving her access to my information? And she's like, I'm sorry, da, 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 da. Okay? So, she was sorry. That was on that. Okay, so I tell Addie. She's like, oh, never happened again. I tell Addie some really incriminating shit. I get a call from D. Yo, why are you telling people what we be doing? I'm like, I'm not. What are you talking about? He's like, this is the second time. This happens again, it's over. I'm like, what's going on? So I guess she never stopped, right? But I ended up dropping D before it really became an issue. Now, I should have clocked that at that time. I did not clock it, okay? So this is when another character gets added into the story. Okay, you guys? 2 characters. We're just going to add 2 characters. Bia and Ashby. Ashby's the main reason why I wanted to make this story time. You guys, I really want to protect you guys from these fake ass bitches that be out here, honestly. And I think over the years I became a fake ass bitch, and honestly that's why I just can't mess with these bitches, because once they stoop low, bitch, I don't go lower, I dig the grave. It's so bad. Okay, so Via, I was friends with her. I met her freshman year, just like Addie. She transferred. She ended up moving to the Philippines for a year. Now, this is, again, January, sophomore year. I was online. I transferred because my school actually sucks. I still love my boy best friends, though. They literally carried me through everything. But this is a girl best friend story, so I need to stop with that. But basically, again, with Via, I wasn't really friends with her. You know, I was cool with her. I had her Snapchat, da-da-da-da. When I found out that she was back in Colorado, I was like, hey girl, like, you wanna hang out? She's like, yeah. So literally like January, we hang out and we end up going to a party with my old friend Kashaya. Also not friends with her because she's just weird. She's a big booty weird bitch. Anyway, so we end up going to this party. It's crazy. We end up going to a party second night. This is when Ashby gets introduced to the story. Now, her ex-man was trying to get with me while they were talking. She ended up dating him, got cheated on. Sad. Anyway, this is my first time actually meeting this girl again. She went to my school, transferred freshman year, my freshman year. She was a sophomore. Anyway, so we meet at this party. We're having a lit time. Now, me, Addie, and Via hang out one day. And we're all smoking, you know, we're faded as fuck. And, you know, we're talking about life, talking about some serious stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, if I'm opening up to these girls, and they're opening up to me, like, okay, we locked in. We was not locked. I was locked in. It was not locked. Because Addie and Via end up having a falling out, and they don't like each other, but I'm still friends with them. So they talk major shit about each other, mind you. Now, during this time, Via and Ashby have been friends for 10 years, okay? I just met Ashby and we clicked. Now, Ashby, she stayed out late, got in trouble, so she was grounded. She ended up staying at my house for like 2 weeks. I was online school at this time. She was in-person school. She did not go to school for like 2-3 weeks, okay? She would borrow my clothes because she was staying at my house. You know, I didn't really care because it's like, you're staying at my house, whatever. Okay. So let's fast forward to April. Let's fast forward to March, okay? So at this point, me and Ash are really, really, really close. Like, we're FaceTiming every night, you know, we're talking all the time, okay? So it's our birthday. Her birthday comes around, and I'm thinking I'm gonna get invited because obviously we're friends. Best friends at that. First on each other's best friends list. No invitation. Of course she has to invite her boyfriend, who don't even want her. I'm like, girl, stop being delulu, okay? Like, actually stop being delusional. And so she didn't invite me to her birthday, so I'm like, that's kind of weird. So April, my birthday month, around this time, her favorite like rapper was coming in town, and she posted on her story like, who wants to go? I have an extra ticket. I swiped up and said I would go. A week before the concert, she's like, oh, sorry, my mom sold the ticket, but like, can you still come because I don't want to go alone? I'm like, I was confused. I'm like, like, that doesn't make sense. Whatever. So this ticket was $200. My mom says, you can either have a birthday party or go to this concert. I dumbly chose to go to the concert. Now, this is Key Glock, you guys. I don't like Key Glock. Key Glock literally sucks. He sounds like a country rapper. Like, if he's trying to, like, he actually pisses me off. Like, every time Key Glock is on aux, bro, I literally take off my seatbelt, reach up to the front, and skip it. Because I do not mess with Key Glock at all after that. Now, you guys, we went to a venue that's called Red Rocks. It's like this venue in the mountains, okay? I was wearing a tube top and joggers because it said it was going to be 65 degrees. She's like, don't worry, it's gonna be hot. I've never been to Red Rocks before for a concert. She said she has, and she's like, don't worry, it's gonna be warm, like da-da-da-da. We get up there. I bring a low cover over jacket. See-through, it's very light. It's not really see-through, but it was pretty much see-through. And I got cold. I was getting very cold. I am anemic, you guys, which basically means I have low white blood cells. So I get cold really easy. I have low iron. That's just what I am. So I got cold. I ended up going to the restroom because it was very warm in there. She wants to tell everybody that I was tweaking high off my ass in the bathroom. I'm like, excuse me? Like, that's literally not even what happened. And we took an Uber up there. We ended up getting a ride from someone, and I gave her $50 for the Uber. She's like, just take it back. I'm like, okay, bad. Tell me why she told Via that I stole $50 from her, right? So I'm like, Anyway, I found this out later. So fast forward May, I think, or like April. It's track season. We end up going to one of her Sneaky Links track meets, right? And basically what happened is, like, there's no internet. She was just like so self-centered this day, and I'm just like, oh. But basically, like, again, no internet. This track stadium was in the middle of nowhere. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Stay tuned for part 2. Sorry to do this to you guys. Bye.